Hi, I'm Paul. I'm a designer, I'm not a doctor, but I'm here to talk to you about talking to doctors. Because I don't know if it's just in the Netherlands, but I hear a lot that when people go to the doctor, they feel like they're not really being listened to, like they're not properly involved. And this can be very frustrating. But for a lot of children that have to go to the hospital every year, it's a lot worse. Because these children, a lot of them aren't even involved in this conversation. A lot of them, they have to wait outside. Right? Nobody asks them anything. It's the parents and the doctors that are talking. And you can say, okay, the conversation might be too difficult for the child, it might not understand, or there's not enough time to properly involve him. Or you can say that, well, it's a child, it's difficult to talk to children, they might not have the focus, or they might not have the energy, or they might simply not care. So the intentions are not necessarily wrong, but the consequences are real. Because when the child doesn't feel involved, it might be very anxious and it might be less collaborative in the test that they have to do. Furthermore, well, it might say less. And this might not sound like a problem to some of you, but for doctors it's very important that the child is expressing how it's experiencing the illness. They need this information to make better decisions about the care. So how can we involve children better? This is the challenge that I faced specifically for the Child Brain Lab of the Sophia Children's Hospital. This is a lab where children had to do a lot of different tests about their brain. And by talking to these children, by talking to their parents, by talking to their doctors, we eventually developed the brain portrait pieces. And this is a collection of pieces that guide the child through these tests. For every test that the child does, it gets such a piece that explains a little bit about what that test has measured, how that bit of your brain works, and why you were doing the test in the first place. And this way, it quite literally splits up the overwhelming amount of information in different pieces. And because these pieces are physical, you can take them home, right? And this is where the child is more comfortable, and where the child does have the energy to explore the pieces and explore this information. So then when the time comes that the test results need to be discussed with the doctor, you can bring these pieces to the hospital and you can guide the discussion around these pieces. And in this way, it becomes a lot more understandable for the child, but it also signals to both the child and to the doctor that the child is expected to join the conversation. I personally believe that it's very important to involve them. After all, we all want to feel involved and we all want to feel like we're listened to. And that's why I also want to thank you a lot for listening to me today. Thanks.